वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद भजते कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त प्रभु नित्यानंद
Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna. So I want to say thank you to the authorities and the seniors of the manor for giving me this very nice service opportunity for giving a Bhagavad Gita class. I want to seek all the blessings of the devotees who are assembled here today and of those who are online, so that I may be able to speak something of benefit for us all, and that we may hopefully be able to deepen our relationship with Krishna at least a little bit from this class. So I want to let devotees know I haven't prepared much for this class, which is due to my own fault. But it's a very nice verse, so I will be trying my best with the mercy of Krishna to be able to speak some nice pieces from this verse. Is the microphone loud enough, or should I turn it up a little bit? Okay, right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now we will go over the Sanskrit verse. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasamat para ananyenaiva yogena mam yayanta upasate teshamaham samudarta mrityu samsarasagarat bhavamina chirat parta maya veshita chetasham yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasamat para ananyenaiva yogena mam yayanta upasate teshamaham samudarta mrityu samsarasagarat bhavamina chirat parta maya veshita chetasham yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasamat para anyanenaiva yogena mam jayanta upasate teshamaham samudarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavamina chirat parta maya veshita chetasam. Would anybody like to repeat the verse? Yetu sarvani karmani tesamaham samudarta mrityu samsara sagara bhavamina chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasamat para anyaneneva yogena mam yayanta upasate teshamaham samudarta mrityu samsara sagarat Chetasam. Okay. So now we will go the. Yeah, let's do the word for word. So, yeah, those who do but sarvani all karmani activities mai onto me sanyasya giving up mat paraha being attached to me ananyena without division eva certainly yogena by practice of such bhakti yoga mam upon me dhyayandaha meditating upasate worship tesham of them aham I samudarta the deliverer mrityu of death samsara in material existence sagarat from the ocean bhavami I become na not chirat after a long time parta O son of Prita mai upon me aveshita fixed chetasam of those whose minds. I think we'll do the Mangala Charan. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So now we'll go through the translation and the purport. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and having always meditated upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Prita, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is explicitly stated here that the devotees are very fortunate to be delivered very soon from material existence by the Lord. In pure devotional service, one comes to the realization that God is great and that the individual soul is subordinate to Him. His duty is to render service to the Lord, and if he does not, then he will render service to Maya. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotional service. Therefore, one should be fully devoted One should fix his mind fully on Krishna in order to achieve him. One should work only for Krishna. It does not matter in what kind of work one engages, but that work should be done only for Krishna. That is the standard of devotional service. The devotee does not desire any achievement other than pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His life's mission is to please Krishna, and he can sacrifice everything for Krishna's satisfaction, just as Arjuna did in the battle of Kurukshetra. The process is very simple. One can devote himself in this occupation and engage at the same time in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such transcendental chanting attracts the devotee to the personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord herein promises that without delay he will deliver a pure devotee, thus engaged from the ocean of material existence. Those who are advanced in yoga practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process, and others take the opportunity in various ways. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clearly stated here that the Lord himself takes him. The devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky. In the Varaha Purana, this verse appears, Nayami paramam stanam archir adi katim vina garuda skandam aropya yate cham anivaritaha. The purport of this verse is that a devotee does not need to practice Ashtanga Yoga in order to transfer his soul to the spiritual planets. The responsibility is taken by the Supreme Lord himself. He clearly states here that he himself becomes the deliverer. A child is completely cared for by his parents, and thus his position is secure. Similarly, a devotee does not need to endeavor to transfer himself by yoga practice to other planets. Rather, the Supreme Lord, by his great mercy, comes at once riding on his bird carrier Garuda, and at once delivers the devotee from material existence. Although a man who has fallen in the ocean may struggle very hard and may be very expert in swimming, he cannot save himself. But if someone comes and picks him up from the water, then he is easily rescued. Similarly, the Lord picks up the devotee from this material existence. One simply has to practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness and fully engage himself in devotional service. Any intelligent man should always prefer the process of devotional service to all other paths. In the Narayanaya, this is confirmed as follows. Yavai sadhana sampati purushartha chatushtaye taya vina tadapnoti nara narayana shrayaha. The purport of this verse is that one should not engage in the different processes of fruitive activity or cultivate knowledge by mental speculation, the mental speculative process. One who is devoted to the Supreme Personality can attain all the benefits derived from other yogic processes, speculation, rituals, sacrifices, charities, etc. This is the specific benediction of devotional service. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A devotee of the Lord can approach the supreme destination easily and happily, but this destination cannot be approached by any other process of religion. The conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita is stated in the 18th chapter. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. One should give up all other processes of self-realization and simply execute devotional service in Krishna consciousness. That will enable one to reach the highest perfection of life. There is no need for one to consider the sinful actions of his past life, because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. Therefore, one should not futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. Let everyone take shelter of the Supreme Omnipotent Godhead, Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life. Okay. Again, I would like to seek the blessings of all the devotees here so that I may speak something beneficial for everybody. Okay. Okay, so this is a very nice verse. I'll repeat it. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Brita, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So we can see the first part of this verse, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation. So we know that giving up all their activities unto me. So, for instance, the idea is that to be completely engaged in the service of Krishna, using the senses, hearing, seeing, smelling, and using all of our senses to be completely absorbed in Krishna's service and remembering Him in that way. So, giving up all activities unto me, being completely active in Krishna's service, all activities, and being devoted to me without deviation, being steadfast and completely focused on our service for Krishna. Forgive me, Prabhu. I have no preparation for this class. It's Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 6 through to 7. Okay, so I'll go by. I have here just a few notes, actually very, very little, but I've got the 5 limbs of devotional service, which is associating with devotees, reading, chanting, worshipping His form, and living in the holy place. So what I'll probably do is I'll go through each of these 5 limbs and speak about them a little bit. Please, if anybody has anything to add, please do add, as it will add to the depth of the class, as I have not prepared much. So it'll be very nice for devotees to add their own reflections. But associating with devotees. So in any activity, whenever we want to not only practice but become perfect, we have to associate with those who teach it and those who are masters in it. So associating with devotees is of great importance. Only through association with devotees can we really understand the scriptures. It's also recommended that when we study Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, we should always do it with senior devotees, as they can help us a lot with that. I can say from my own reflections in the benefit of associating with devotees. I'm very fortunate to be born in a family of devotees, and I did not practice very much beforehand. But after coming to the manor, associating with the great Vaishnavas that are here, I've come to be able to appreciate everything a lot more in terms of growing up and in terms of also just associating with devotees. So especially beforehand, I always was quite closed off. I was never associating with anybody really. But I found a lot of people here, a lot of devotees like Ekavana Prabhu and many other in the ashram who I feel as if I've been able to build a very nice relationship with, get close to, and they've been able to help me a lot in my in my practice of Krishna consciousness. I also find that we just came back from Hungary. We were there for 10 days in Krishna Valley. It was a very nice experience. That temple is filled with many really incredible Vaishnavas, and there's a few devotees there who really touched my heart, like His Grace Govinda Hari Prabhu, Ananda Chaitanya Prabhu, and Yashoda Lal Prabhu. There are 3 devotees who were very, very nice. They taught very nice things. But something I can take away from the beautiful time we had in Navaraj Dham was I was able to deepen in my chanting, in my reading, in my hearing, and my understanding of our dependence on devotees. So I might actually go into my notes and reflect on some of that. No, please say. Okay. I think that's a good idea. We should. I'd be happy to do that as well. It's more, a little bit more active, and we can actually go through the verse. Mhm. Okay, I'll repeat that for those online. So Ekavana Prabhu's question is, in pure devotional service, one comes to the realization that God is great. So why is it that only in pure devotional service is that realized? Is that correct? Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai. Well, to my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's that when we are not engaged in pure devotional service, we still may have tints of false ego, material attachments and desires. And then it's a little bit more complicated to see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as great and pure, because we still want to enjoy. So we still want to enjoy the sense objects, and in that way we're unable to really give ourselves fully to the Supreme Enjoyer and to be parts of and be His servants so that He may be able to enjoy fully. And that comes, I think, with reading and association. And it comes with time, I think, in the material world. We begin to realize that these things never give us full, like on Sankirtan, I always like to say to people when I stop them, is that we experience already for so many years, however many years we've been here, that no matter how much we work, no matter how much we are engaged in any particular activity in the material sense, we are never fully satisfied. And I always use the analogy that it's because we are the soul. And it's like the soul is an eternal being, and we're trying to fulfill these temporary desires. So I always say it's like you have a never ending cup, and you're trying to fill it with the ocean. Eventually, even the oceans run out, and you're still thirsty. So we have experience and we have knowledge that these things may not fully satisfy us, but we still are engaged in them because we don't have that knowledge of more. And that's where associating with devotees is so important. Because as we associate with devotees more and more, we start to read books, we spend time in the temple, and we chant the holy name, which is the topmost process. Naturally, we begin to realize these things. And then, like that, we become engaged in Krishna consciousness. And over time, it says, in pure devotional service, one comes to the realization that God is great and that the individual soul is subordinate to Him. So I think, if that makes sense, it's through reading, associating with Vaishnavas, like that, we begin to realize these things. And that's why it's in pure devotional service and not in other stages. Hmm. Yes. That's very nice. For those online, Mataji said a very nice point with a very nice reference that no matter what stage we are, we always need association. And you gave the very nice example of Bharat Maharaj, which is also a very funny one, I think, that he had no association and he became very attached to the deer, and therefore he had to take birth as deer in his next life. But if he would have had association, then the devotee would have been able to tell him, Prabhu, Maharaj, you were very attached to this deer, etc. So that's a very nice example. Thank you. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, yeah, that's something very nice as well. I think as we, at least from my own reflection, as well, I've been here at the manor, especially while we were in Hungary, we had a very nice class where a devotee was really stressing the point of we really are dependent on the mercy of the Vaishnavas. So I think that's also very nice meditation for myself, for everybody. But I think it's very nice. We really are dependent on the mercy of the Vaishnavas for everything. Yeah, it's very nice. Mm. Mm. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the section of the purport. Mm. It's a very nice purport, very nice verse as well. A little bit unfortunate that I was chosen to give class on it, and more or less my lack of preparation. But it really is a very, very nice text and a very deep purport. It's really beautiful. Let's go through it on the screen as well. I think that's a nice little piece there. That in pure devotional service, one comes. His duty is to render service to the Lord, and if he does not, then he will render service to Maya. I think that's quite intense, but very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotional service. I guess it's because we're putting ourselves in a position of humility where and the more we become engaged in devotional service, from my own experience from chanting and reading and all these things, we become much more appreciative, you know? Because devotional service is the process of realizing Krishna. So I think That's a nice point. Therefore, one should be fully devoted. One should fix his mind fully on Krishna in order to achieve him. That's something I can definitely say recently I've realized more and more. I can reflect on more and more. It's like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. And we also heard in the class in Hungary, um, as much, no, it's actually in Shivana Maharaj's book, Chant More. As much as we give ourselves to the holy name, the same we receive back. The same as we put our heart into it, the same we receive back. And I think that's something I can reflect on very nicely, especially over these past 2 weeks. I've been trying to meditate much more on that. We need to be fully engaged, and we heard something very nice. His Grace Yashoda Lal Prabhu said that because we're trying to attain the highest perfection, we're trying to attain Golok Vrindavan, the eternal service of Krishna. Obviously, there's more. Like that's not really what a pure devotee wishes to attain. But when we wish to attain such a goal, it takes a long time. But Prabhupada said we could do it in one life, so therefore it can be done. And we need to be really. I heard this saying a while ago, devotees are strong like a thunderbolt, but soft like a lotus flower. So we need to be very strict in our sadhana, at least in the beginning stages when we are starting off, and we need to be very strict in our sadhana and our chanting. And then through that, naturally, a lot of, I can say, very nice reflections come. We begin to really be able to chat nicely, read nicely. We associate with devotees, you see the deities, and it warms your heart a lot. Something very nice. And that kind of gives us that boost in devotional service. So the more we are fully devoted and we have our mind fully fixed on Krishna, I think everything kind of starts to come together a little bit more. I think this class is a very nice opportunity because obviously I didn't prepare much, but you see the mercy of the Vaishnavas here, you know? I think it's so nice that I'm completely unqualified to give a class on such a beautiful verse, but look, the Vaishnava is so merciful, you know? Soft as a lotus flower. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's something also yeah, it's very nice actually. Yeah, I heard before, my father told me something very nice, that this process of bhakti yoga is like to melt the heart into like ghee or butter, because Krishna loves butter, so he will come and steal it. So my father told me that. I think that's just very nice. It's very nice. Krishna, wherever you want me to go, I will go and I will gladly accept it. Yeah, Mataji, what you said was very, very nice. I think that's a very, very nice reflection. Very nice. Till 6, 7, sorry. It's nice though. We've just been going through the purport a little bit, looking. Chapter 12, text 6 through to 7. It's very nice. But, yeah. If you want, I can show the translation. Actually, not. No, actually, do not. I have heard about it, but actually do not. Mhm. But take the microphone for this. Yes, I think there's at least a few. Mhm. I've heard parts, the beginning, I've heard the end. It's just all separate, but never together. Gorarati is going to start in 2 minutes, so I'll probably finish now. But I want to place myself at the feet of the lotus-like Vaishnavas who have been so nice and so facilitating during this class. So really, I really appreciate it. It's really nice. So Vanchakalpadrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anatakoti Vaishnavrinda ki. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki,
Radha Arjunacharya.
ki Jai. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe. Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Ko Shobha